Hey everybody, John Jackson here again for the second video of this installment series of with Ted Thomas, the nation's authority, I think maybe the universe's authority of tax lien certificates. He's been doing this longer than anybody, and he is the guy to learn this incredible niche from. So wow. So yesterday's video was so full of information. I think my head was exploding. But let's talk about can you talk about a little bit of a recap first, then we'll step forward. Just a quicker view again of what a tax lien certificate is.
Okay. So folks, across the United States, there's over 3,000 counties. Now the counties are the ones that administer all of this. Okay. So every property in the United States, and there's 100 million of them, every property has a tax. All right. So half of the states, if they don't get paid, they're going to issue a tax lien certificate. Now that's a safe, secure, predictable investment. The other half of the states, they're going to actually confiscate the property. So if you lived in New York or California and you don't pay the tax, I can tell you right now, they're going to confiscate that property. Now, in both cases, the county never wants these properties. They don't want them. So the tax lien certificates, when they sell those, anybody can raise their hand and buy a tax lien certificate. For example, this is a tax lien certificate list for Jacksonville, Florida. There's over 30,000, I'll do it this way. There's over 30,000 tax liens in this newspaper. Over 30,000, that's one county of the 33,000 counties plus out there. All right, so I can show you tax defaulted property, and they give me lists like this where they show the properties that they're gonna sell. Okay, and I just downloaded that off the internet, and this particular county is gonna have 200 properties, Sullivan County, and that's right outside of New York City. But every county in the United States is going to sell either tax liens or tax deeds. You can profit from both of them. So we're going to do a bunch of questions on that. So back to John.
Well, okay, you can see I literally have papers all strewn out here, Ted, and I'm writing notes and stuff. So, so let me ask you this, Ted, because you said something that I struck me. Are tax lien certificates are they available in every state?
Tax lien certificates are only available in half of the states, but the other half of the states sell tax deeds. Now, for the person that's watching, I've been doing this for more than 30 years. So what I had to do when I wanted to find out about tax liens, I lived in California. They didn't sell them, so I had to drive to Arizona. But today, everything's online. So we're going to teach you you sit right on your assets. We're going to teach you to sit on your assets and do this business. Now, I can't teach you today, but I can teach you on an all-day event, which I'm going to do on the 27th. And we'll actually show you people that are in Canada, British Columbia, Singapore, all the Australia. They're buying online. And if any place is English speaking, we can do this online. So the world is yours now.
Man, I want to come back to. I wanted to ask that, and you just hit on it. So what a segue is, and obviously you can do this online. So I was envisioning in my head, because I used to go to the auctions every the first Tuesday of the month, and you'd see the auction, all these different trustees doing the auction, and then over there were people in a tent, and I never understood, well, how come they get to hang out in the shade? This is how it was in Tarrant County anyway. And that was the tax deed sale the sheriff had. So but you had to go to the courthouse and the whole, the old days.
Yeah.
And stuff.
Yeah. So you went to Fort Worth.
You can do all this online. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. You can do the whole thing online. Now, some of the counties are going to say they want to do a live sale. Between you and I, if we got real estate investors we're talking to, they actually probably want to go to the actual auction, because you're going to do better than the average, because you're going to say, oh, that person's not going to do anything. You can kind of listen to their bidding. A person doesn't have any money. They'll say 4,122, which is all they got with them, right? And you say 5,000, you say 10,000, sold. The auctioneer knows who the hell's got money. They just want to get rid of the stuff, right? So online, the bidding process sometimes can start at noontime and go right through. It might take till midnight because they have minutes between each bid. And so it's a long process online, but you can do everything online. Okay, and we teach you classes to do everything online. You can do all the research online. But first of all, you wouldn't buy a property without seeing it. So we tell people, all right, let's research online, then hire a broker to go out there and take pictures, or someone that you can trust, make sure the property's there and didn't burn down. So we cover all that stuff. Anyway, back to your question.
So you can do this. You can be in the U.S., you can be in Canada. I literally had a conversation 2 days ago with a gentleman in Canada who was looking to invest in the U.S. So we talked for a while, and this would this would be perfect for him. He's in Canada. He can do this in the United States. I've got some of my students I got one in Colombia, the country. I've got Colombia, New Zealand, all over. But this is easy to do.
Perfect for all of them. I have people in Costa Rica doing it every day, buying it in Los Angeles. I have people in Colombia. I have people in Argentina. I have people in Bangkok, Thailand. I have people in Sydney, Australia, and Melbourne, wherever. Any place that's got online can get online. They have to have an American bank account. That's the key. If you don't have, because they only expect this country only takes one kind of money, and that's dollars.
And so, okay, so they have to have a U.S. bank account, which shouldn't be a problem. So let me ask you: should my students, should they buy tax lien certificates or tax defaulted properties?
All right, now real estate people should really narrow cast onto tax defaulted property, but to just get your feet wet, why not buy a tax lien? For example, let's say the average house in is 150,000. All right, so a tax certificate on that house first year is only going to be 1,500 or 2,000. So buy 2,000. Now you learned how to do the procedure. Okay, now maybe the person pays you off in 1 year instead of 2. So you're going to get your money back, and you're going to get the interest on whatever you bid. All right, so now you learn how to do that. All right, so learn that way. Or if you're really comfortable, and most people are really comfortable when they finish the training, they're comfortable enough. We go right in and we buy. If you can buy properties for 10 and 20 and 30 cents on the dollar with no mortgage and no deed of trust, how many do you want to buy? That's what I tell people.
Yeah.
How many do you want? When you're buying for 10, 20, 30 cents on the dollar, you're not worried about selling for 100 cents. Sell the thing for 60 cents on the dollar to a rehabber or a fixer-upper guy or some guy that wants to do something. Just be in the investment business, not the real estate business, and not the painting and fixer-upper business. Wow.
Be in the paper business, not the product business.
Exactly. Be in the paper business.
By the way, you can use that little. I just said that you could use that. Like, be in the paper business, not the product business. The real estate business. This is. I just spit this brilliance out.
I get good insight
without effort, Ted. So you're going to have properties and valuations all over the map. Do you recommend people start off? Should they buy big ones or small ones in regards to the tax lien certificates?
All right, there's two or three different ways to do the business. All right, now if I tell a guy, let's go up to New York, and about 2 hours out of the city, they got these big, elegant, what they call colonial houses. So these are houses that tower up, that are 2 big floors and fireplaces. They're setting on 4 acres, and the oak trees are 75 years old. Okay, now these people are sick of being there. They don't take care of things, or they lost their job, or they got old, or whatever happened. So the property's slightly abused. But I mean, might need some new tile in the roof, might need paint, whatever. These people let them go to auction. I don't buy those properties for 10 cents on the dollar, but I look at the evaluation. Let me just give you a valuation. So let's say it's a $400,000 in a good market. All right, I'm willing to pay up to 30 cents on the dollar for that house. That's 120 grand. I mean, I'm gonna play the game. 120, then I might have to fix it up, but I can sell it for 400. Holy Toledo, 75,000 does a lot of paint, a lot of roof, and a lot of kitchens. My point. So that's one way to invest. Or I teach new investors, forget that. Okay, that's how Ted's going to do it, but he's been doing it 30 years. They're going to go and they're going to find a house that's valued at 75 or 100,000, slightly abused, going to need some cleanup. All right, let's buy that for 8 or 10,000. All right, do a small amount of fix up and sell it to a fixer-upper guy. Just clean it up, sell it to a fixer-upper guy. Or there's 25% of the market who can't afford a house. Finance them. Do a seller financing deal on it, and get 10 or 11%. You make 25 grand on the house and make another 15 or 20 grand on the. So you got 8 or 10 invested, and you come out with 40 grand all day long. That works. And think of Michigan, think of Tennessee, think of lots of Arizona. There's plenty of places outside of the main city where houses are still 100 or 150,000. Okay, take Georgia, for instance. In the city, 400,000. Get out of the city. There's all the $100,000 houses you want, even after this insanity, what's happened this year. There's plenty of $100,000 houses. But if you're willing to finance and you understand that business, you not only make 25 grand on the house selling it to the people, then you make a deal. I had a guy just in Tampa. Nobody said he could do it, so nobody looked at it. The house is all overgrown, all overgrown. People didn't even look at it. He drove out there, Spanish American guy from Honduras. He bought it for $9,100. He sold it for $120,000 with $5,000 down. And the people are in there cleaning up all the stuff, doing all the work. He's got 150 grand in this deal. He got a $9,000 investment. But that's just for knowing real estate. But the point is, these things are all over the place. Now, I'm going to show you lists of properties that you're going to be staggered. There's just so many. I mean, there's going to be 5,000 tax auctions this year, and 99% of the people have never even been to one. There's 5,000 of them.
That leads into one of the questions I wanted to ask was about, so going to the auctions, if someone wanted to go on, in person, and really experience that, which guys, no matter what you're doing, whether it's tax lien certificates or lease options or anything, I know we love the idea of virtual because it makes it sound cool, like we're smart. But the truth is that anytime you have an opportunity to immerse yourself physically into a situation around those surroundings, those people, please do it. Please do it, because you're going to gain so much knowledge and experience from that. But at these auctions, Ted, are these big crowds of people fighting over these tax lien certificates? Or are they fairly small?
Okay. All right. Now, it depends upon where you're going to go. Now, here's a way to figure it out. Okay. A large population county will have a large amount of properties. For example, let me reach over and get the.
Yep.
So a large population county would be Los Angeles, where there's going to be 3 million people. Okay. There's 2,500 properties right there on that list. Okay, now that auction is going to have 2,000 or 3,000 people. All right, but the rest of the United States, you take a place like Iowa, Indiana, if you go to Iowa, there's 100 counties. 100 counties, they're going to have only dozens of properties at those. So dozens of properties tells me, why don't I go out and buy 2 or 3 if I want to do it that way? Or why don't I buy 1, learn how to sell it, make sure I've got a business, then go on to the next one. See, the beauty of the business is it never goes away. We don't care whether the real estate market's going up or whether it's going down. Tax auction properties are like this. There is no recession. There's no bull up bear market. It's always here. I've been buying this, going back to the same counties for 30 years. And it's across the United States. Doesn't matter where you want to go.
Well, what are the maximum number of tax lien certificates that are available, you think?
Well, I know there's over 1 million certificates just in the state of Florida every year. 1 million.
Wait. Just in the state of Florida. Wait. I want to make sure I understand. When you say over 1 million just in Florida, you mean
Florida has about 10 million homes. 10 million homes in Florida, and there's 1 million certificates every year.
That are created?
Every year.
Really?
Really?
1 million in Florida.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, if you could count that high and get Texas, you could find in Texas they don't sell tax liens. They sell a deed to the property. All right. So I've gone to the Houston sale in Harris County. I've gone a half a dozen times, and I've never seen less than 200 properties, some of which are in the millions. Some are, the average is going to be 200, 400,000. I bought in the Woodlands and places like that, not junk, forget the junk.
Yeah.
Now, I've also bought on the south side of Tarrant County. If you tell me what it is with the dirt roads down there, the name will come back. I can't remember the name of it.
Dirt roads be like Crowley, Burleson, Joshua. Those
I bought in all ends of that, but you get the picture. So there's always whatever you want available that you can buy these properties. So the point is that every county is going to have a tax auction. All right. If you want to do tax defaulted property, Texas has got all you want. You want to go up to Oklahoma? They're going to have, I can guarantee you this. You could just drive up to Oklahoma City, not too far. Okay. Drive up to Oklahoma City. They will have 1,000 properties for auction on the list this year. 1,000. Now those properties are selling are worth $100,000 each retail. They're going to sell those properties 2 and 5, 15,000, that kind of stuff. You can go right over to Tulsa and it'll be the exact same thing. I have people at the auction, and even though they Oklahoma will let them redeem right up until the auction starts, the auctions never have less than 500 properties.
Well, let me ask this, Ted. When you go to auctions in person, you yourself, like the one in Harris County or whatever, do you normally wear a Robert Graham shirt? What does Ted Thomas wear to the auction?
I have to wear a coat and a hat.
Oh, please. You're not that popular. Come on now.
I know.
Like everybody's going to go, oh my God, I got to get an autograph. That's Ted Thomas. He's the reason I'm here.
Well, it's not that bad, but if people get all cattywampus. So I do it in places where people don't know me.
Well, you're probably the reason a lot of them are there, is because
there's no doubt about it. Yeah. Well, my students that come to class, they even look at class pictures and know who other people are at the auction.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I got a gal that just bought one up in from Canada. She bought in Florida, and she was bidding against another student that they had been in the same class. That's unbelievable. Yeah.
Again, guys, August 27th, please write down August 27th. We're going to be covering a ton of stuff. Ted is going to be unleashing everything August 27th. One last question here, Ted, and then we'll kind of put a bow on this one, is difference. So you've got tax lien certificates, you have tax deeds like we have in Texas. Is there yesterday, or maybe it was today, you mentioned something about Georgia. Is there a minimum? Is Georgia unique in some way?
Georgia's unique. And then after I tell you about that, I'll tell you a way to get all the risk out of the deal. So first of all, Georgia is a state very much like Texas. And what they do is they don't sell tax liens. They sell the deed to the property. So every month in Georgia, they have an auction. All right, so the auction is for that county. So Georgia has 168 different little counties. So they'll never have 50 properties. They're always going to have 25, 35 properties. And they do it every month. Okay, so they have the auction. And when you raise your hand, you're bidding to buy the property. So when you buy the property, so let's say it's a $100,000 property and you pay $15,000. All right, so you're the high bidder. So they give you the deed to the property. All right, now the deed is redeemable. That means the person that lost the property can come in and redeem it any day. And anytime they redeem it in the first year, if they come in and redeem it the first year, they have to give you back all your money plus 20%. You might remember in Texas, they have to give you back all your money plus 25. Okay, now if they don't redeem it in the first year, you can foreclose. I tell my clients, don't foreclose, let it go into the second year. Now, if they redeem in the second year, then they have to pay you 30% plus all the money that you invested. And the year after that, they have to pay you 40%. And the year after that, they have to pay you 50%. So that's how it works in Georgia. So Georgia, if you bought a redeemable deed today, and they come in and pay you tomorrow, which some of them do, they come in and pay you the next day, you're going to make a minimum of 20%. The worst you can make in Georgia is 20%. The worst you can make in Texas is 25%. So that gives you some idea.
Okay.
All right.
Well, go ahead. Go ahead.
I want to tell you and show you a guy in Canada called me. All right. He's a rental guy. He buys a lot of properties, rents them. He got to the point where he had dozens of rental properties and 3 guys just fixing door locks and windows and broken kitchens and toilets, and 3 guys working all the time. The real estate market took a dump. Well, they're already rental properties that weren't the best properties anyway, and they went down. Now suddenly he's lost 10 years of appreciation of someone paying the rent. So he came to me and said, look, I can sell this stuff and come out with money. Can you tell me how to do tax certificates to stay out of the risk business? I said, yes. I want you to buy online, and I want you to buy, listen closely to what I'm going to say, because you'll get it. Nobody else does.
I got my pen ready.
All right. Buy at the auction, and I want you to get vacant, buildable residential lots.
Oh,
Vacant, buildable, because nobody else is bidding on them. You see, everybody else was conceived in a house. They live in the house, so they're going to buy houses. So what happens to the bidding on the houses? It's going up all the time, right? Nobody even looks at these buildable lots. So he buys the buildable lot. Long story short, I said, buy it low, sell it low. The value he bought in Riverside, California, the value was $225,000 for the lot. He sold it, made 20 grand, but he did it while he was sitting in his basement online. Now I'm going to show you this on the video. Okay. He's in his basement and he made $20,000 in 60 days. That got him off to it. The last property he bought was worth $800,000. He did them all online. They'll get to see this, and it's a video coming up right now.
My name is Kelly Osmack, and I'm from Regina, Saskatchewan. I'm a Ted Thomas student. I had purchased a lot in Riverside County, at Riverside. I purchased it for $35,000, and after I got my title, I listed it. It was listed for a month, and I got a full cash offer of $55,000 US. After that deal, I went to the Kitsap County in Washington and purchased a 5-acre parcel in Kingston, and I paid $131,000 for that property. It had a 1,300 square foot manufactured home and a barn on the property. Really nice property. I had it listed at $280,000, and I received a full price offer in 4 days. I went back to Riverside because it's a great place. I love Riverside for whatever reason. In May, I bought another property. It's in Desert Hot Springs. It's another 5-acre parcel. It's awesome. Yeah, I bought this property for $177,000. 5 acres of land. On Zillow, they had it listed in 2011 for $798,000. There's this house, there's another 900 square foot nanny mother-in-law house, there's outbuildings. It's a beautiful property. I had a realtor go look at it, and he said, yeah, it's in, like, from the exterior, looks like it's in decent shape, depending what the inside is. He said it could range for anywhere from 500 to 800. I'll probably clear 100,000 US on that deal. I've never left my basement office, ever.